Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick reflection on my goals and a check-in on how I've been doing on them for the first half of the year and seeing if I need to address some things, if I need to change some things up, and just seeing how I'm doing with my goals on my reading. Let's just dive right in. I think it's pretty quick. So my reading goal for the year is 75 books. This is, I believe, quite a realistic goal for me, that it doesn't put too much pressure on, but is also not so much of a challenge, but a little challenge. Like, I think 100's too much of a challenge, that it's a bit too daunting, whereas 75 is a bit more realistic. But currently I'm very much on track, and I've read 46 books for the first 6 months of the year, so very much on track. Going well, on track with that goal. We'll probably hit it and surpass it, but on track. And then another one of my goals is series, and just sort of maintaining the level of series that I'm working on, and not like suddenly expanding the number of series that I'm working on, and that if I am starting a series that they're complete, because that's where I get most enjoyment, where I'm sort of reading a series through to completion and not having massive gaps between books, that I am much better at not binging, because I don't typically read a series back to back, but with like maybe a month in between. And I have been doing that. I have definitely been doing that, that I have been very consistent with my series, and I have been working on them, and the number is pretty static. It's in the high 20s currently for series that I'm working on, but that does include series that are up to date. So I have about 8 to 10 series that I am actively working on, which I think is a reasonable number, but I mean, it could be a little bit lower. It was a little bit lower at the beginning of the year, and then I read quite a lot of starts of series in the first half of the year, a lot in March predominantly, and that definitely put my numbers up. And then in the second quarter of the year, I've really been working on that to try and fix what I did in the first quarter to try and read those series. So I do need to find a bit more of a balance, I think, of like bringing new series in as I finish a series, instead of just starting loads and then suddenly having to work on loads. Yeah, it does look like I have started 7 series this year, and I finished 3. So I have started more than I finished, but I am on track to finish quite a few in the next month or so, that I am very close to finishing multiple series with just 1 book to go. So I am a bit behind, because typically I believe I wanted to finish 10 series this year, and having only finished 3, that's a bit behind. But I am doing the work. I have been doing the work to finish the series, so I do just need to actually finish them. And I believe that will happen in this next quarter, that I will have a run of just finishing quite a few series back to back. So not quite on track, but I wouldn't say I'm behind either. It's not like I haven't done any of the work. It's not like I've just been starting loads of series and not doing any work on the ones that I'm in the process of. So I feel like that number is going to very, very quickly improve. I mean, hopefully I can finish more than 10 series this year. Like, I think I finished 15 last year. So if I can match that, that would be great. I also had a goal to read more sci-fi. Not going so well. I have only read 3, and I definitely want to increase that number. So only 3 books out of 46, which isn't a very large number. It's not even like 10% it's not even 10%. So I definitely do want to work on that. And I do have quite a few like sci-fi books that I want to be reading. I have been wanting to do like a sci-fi vlog. I did a sci-fi standalones, which I have done, because prior to that I had literally read no sci-fi. So I have done my sci-fi standalones vlog, and I do plan to do a duologies one, where I read a few duologies that I have on my TBR. So I do plan to do that, and I do have some sci-fi books on my TBR for July. So I definitely have some like actions that I am taking to work on my sci-fi and read some more of it. The other thing that I want to like keep an eye on is my male-female ratio. I typically have read more female authors than male authors, which I'm absolutely fine with. I'm fine with reading more women. But I didn't want, it was at a point in, I think, 2020 where like 95% of what I was reading was female, and I wanted to bring in some male authors, and I have been doing that. Currently I'm at 30% male, 70% female. So I'm okay with that. I feel like I'd like it to be a little bit more balanced, but I am okay with that. What I'm not so okay with is my diversity, with only 15% of what I've read being from non-white authors. So I definitely could work on that number. I definitely could, and I feel like I should try and actively, I think I need to be a bit more proactive about that, and actively, when I am picking up a series, try and prioritise series that are by non-white authors, and making sure that the series that I am introducing into my rotation are from non-white authors, because that is the thing as a fantasy and sci-fi reader, predominantly fantasy, that you start reading a series and then you're locked into that series, and so your diversity is sort of locked into the series that you are reading. And I need to make sure that if I am starting series, that I am starting series that are from diverse voices. So definitely something that I can work on. I definitely do want to improve that number in the second half of the year. So I'm very not happy I'm happy I found that out, and happy that I can now make some steps to address it, and hopefully by the end of the year that will be in a better place. I do say that I want to read one classic and one non-fiction. I have read one classic, and it looks like I'm going to be reading another classic in July, so that's instantly going to go up to 2. So I have done that, but I haven't read my non-fiction yet for the year, so that I still have time because I don't have a big goal for them, just at least one, so that's fine. In terms of content, I wanted to be regularly putting out content and just enjoy myself. I figured that for the bulk of the year I've been doing my 2 videos a week. I can't, the same as last year, I might have missed a couple, but I pretty much have been doing 2 videos a week, which it can be a struggle sometimes, but it's okay. I'm managing it just about. I am very happy and proud of the content that I'm making, so I am happy. I'm happy with where I'm progressing. I'm happy with the content that I'm putting out, happy with the quality of it, happy with anything to do with my content that I'm putting up on the internet. Another area where I am not doing so well is sort of going back to the series, is that I have a list of 10 series that I wanted to start in 2022, and I haven't really been doing very well at reading those series. I have been reading series, but I've been reading series that are not on that list. Like I read the whole of the Lycanius trilogy, wasn't on that list. I've been reading the Dandelion Dynasty, not on that list. So I haven't really been reading too many books from the list that I wanted to start. I need to maybe go back to not the drawing board, but go back to this list and actually think about it. So of the 10 series, I have read the Seven Waters series, or I read the original trilogy, so I have read that one. And I did start the Green Rider series. I read Green Rider and it wasn't really for me, so I'm not going to be continuing on in that series. So that's 2, but that's only 2 of the 10. 2 of the 10. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily want to get to all 10 this year. And I did start the Women's War series trilogy, which was on my series to start in 2021. So I have gone back in some ways to that, and I have read that one. There are definitely ones on here that I do really want to read this year. So looking at the rest of the list, I have Mistborn Era 2, First Law, Live Ships, Memory, Sorrow and Thorn, Parable of the Sower, A Memory Called Empire, Ninth Reign, and The Wardlaw Chronicles. So those 8. I feel like the ones I want to prioritise, and I feel like they're realistic that I'm going to get to, are Mistborn Era 2, because I definitely want to reread and keep going with that series before the 4th book comes out. Parable of the Sower, that duology, and A Memory Called Empire. Those duologies I definitely want to read. The Ninth Reign has really been calling to me, so I feel like those 4 are the ones that I'm going to probably try and prioritise out of that list of 10. And then once I've read those 4, maybe I'll come back and see about the other ones and see about where I put them in. Because looking at this list, I realise again that it's not the most diverse list in terms of ethnicity of authors. It may in some ways not be the best series to pick from if I'm wanting to diversify my reading a little bit. If I pull from this list of series, it's, I guess, trying to find a balance. But it was just an idea. It's just an idea of series to work on, and I have been working on series. So despite myself working on series that are not on this list, it was just an idea. It was just some ideas of series. Yeah, there are some of my thoughts on them and where I might be going next with that list. There is a sort of check-in on my goals, just a quick recap what I'm doing, what I want to be working on in the next half of the year. So I guess the big aims are trying to read more sci-fi and read more diversely. I'm going to try not to worry too much about that list of series that I have not started and have not read from, that as long as I am enjoying what I'm reading, that's the priority, that I'm picking up books that I am reading and enjoying, and if they're on a list or not, it shouldn't really matter too much. But I do want to be reading more sci-fi, and sci-fi has really been calling to me lately, so maybe it's the summer of sci-fi. Summer of sci-fi, because perfect. So yeah, those are sort of the 2 areas I really want to work on, is sci-fi and diversity and reading from more diverse voices. So there we go. How has your reading been going for the first half of the year? Do you have any goals, and how have you been doing with working on your goals? Are you on track? Are you wanting to try and work on some objectives more in the second half? I mean, I've got to remind myself that reading is for fun. that it shouldn't matter exactly what my statistics are like, that it is for fun at the end of the day, that as long as I'm picking up books that I think are going to be 5 stars and I am enjoying what I'm reading, that is the biggest goal. That these are sort of little objectives, little goals, but they're not like the be all and end all of my reading, that I'm reading for fun and for pleasure, and I do just want to be prioritising books that I think I'm going to love, and not fixating too much on the numbers. There we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!